Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Lantern Night, also known as the Nanyang Championships here. We're live in China. It's Invictus Gaming taking on the CDEC Youth Squad, who looked like wily veterans in game number one, gods. They took it easily. It was kind of choppy and laggy and hard to see what was going on towards the end, but they dominated. That's what the numbers tell us.
They drafted well, they played well, they had a very cohesive strategy that just came together, and IG just didn't really have a clear answer to it. I think they just came in maybe a bit overconfident. They felt like they could just draft something pretty standard and just try and outplay CDEC Youth, but not at all the case.
Well, let's see what they're cooking up here. The draft has begun. Game number 2 is officially underway, and a little bit of a change up here. Last game we saw the Tusk Undying opening. The Youth will opt to ban out that Tusk. They leave Bounty in the pool, basically saying, we're not afraid of your Bounty Hunter. You can have it if you'd like. We'll take the Quap first, and we'll deny you that Tuskar.
Yeah, and I think the way CDEC played was really good against the Bounty Hunter. They just were willing to invest in a lot of sentries, and they 5-man at a pretty good time where it made Bounty very ineffective. He wasn't allowed to get a lot of track kills. And I think for IG, they want to get a much stronger kind of teamfight lineup. So if they wouldn't pick Bounty, they need a teamfight lineup around it so that they can take CDEC when they hit that mid-game timing and get some track money out of it. Because otherwise, last game we just saw CDEC winning fight after fight and maybe one or two. Apart from that one fight where they got 2 track kills and killed the Aegis Puck at the bottom lane, there was no track money going the way of IG.
Yeah, and the one fight that they got was a 3,000 gold swing, but it was just so hard to get kills. You've got the Shallow Grave, the early mech, the Undying's turnaround potential, and they just couldn't burst heroes down after the early game, it felt like.
And that's why that last game was maybe a lot closer than it potentially looked, because all IG needed was 1 or 2 more fights like that one fight, and they would have been so well off just because of the gold coming in from the track. So potentially the game wasn't quite as one-sided as it maybe appeared. It just kind of snowballed from one fight to the next. But we do see Bounty come out again, this time on the CDEC side, after IG pick up Spirit Breaker. One of the better heroes of dealing with Bounty Hunter, but CDEC's still not afraid to pull him out.
Yeah, it seems like it's interesting because they could have taken him first. And in a lot of cases, I feel like if you don't take him there first, you know the enemy team's grabbing the Bounty Hunter. But I guess they were basically gambling that IG don't want it since they lost with it last game. And they leave it in the pool. They'll get it now. It's interesting to see IG decide Bounty Hunter maybe isn't the hero that we need this time around.
Yeah. I think just they felt like it maybe just didn't work for them, so they want to go a different direction, even if the hero is one of the best roaming supports in the game right now, and a hero likely to potentially receive some nerfs in the upcoming balance patch that's coming next week. But for now, yeah, CDEC will be on the Bounty Hunter side. We'll see bans onto the PL. I think worried about the fact that IG are now the ones in position to pick up the PL after banning something like Ember Spirit, so they don't want to let IG get exactly what CDEC got in game 1. It's a good way to kind of cover your bases, because having an Ember Spirit against a PL is just a huge advantage to your team as far as where things stand.
You say that, but you were not here for the triple rapier feed yesterday.
I heard mention of it.
It's a moment
Was
that
this a triple rapier all on Ember?
Ember bought 3 rapiers over the course of the game, and over the course of the game, he fed all 3 away. So if you do the math there, you're giving up roughly 18,000 gold, and the other team's gaining roughly 18,000. So one hero feeding a 36,000 gold swing away. Still almost won, actually. There was a few fights where they were very close to winning.
Were they against the PL with the Ember?
Yes, they were.
See, 36,000 gold swing, and the PL almost still gets countered.
He was out of items, you know?
Yeah.
So like there was no more inventory slots, and the Ember just does so much damage.
Oh, it's ridiculous, because you get all the bonus damage from the cleave off of the illusions. It's like 1 sleight of fist, and your main PL is down to like half HP. It's actually absurd. It's almost like, I don't know, you consider it almost feels like PL. If there was a way where you could like turn your ultimate off when Ember's around, it'd be great. You only want to turn your ultimate on when you're pushing a lane and Ember's dead, because having illusions works against you every single time when Ember's nearby.
Well, now the Rubik will be grabbed. Here we enter the second phase of picks and bans. A Dazzle for IG, a Rubik for the CDEC Youth. So fairly stable laning supports are the choice, and IG trying to get a little more beef on the front lines with the Spirit Breaker now going into the Dazzle. Well, they had the tanks last game, but heroes that can be aggressive and tanky a bit earlier on here with the cow especially.
So neither team really showing what carry they want to go for.
5
And
seconds remaining.
PL as well as Gyro both banned out. IG was banned out in game 1. This time around, though, an instant response. It's almost as if CDEC Youth were somewhat expecting and hoping for this. They snagged Darkseer right away. They intentionally left Brood available, and I think they knew it wouldn't be a 4th pick Brood where they didn't have a pick afterwards, so it would be a 4th pick Brood and they'd still have time to respond to it. So they could pick the Darkseer in response, and they feel like...
I mean, they, like you said, the way they snap picked the Darkseer there, they knew they were giving away the Brood even before it was picked.
And the fact that it's so calculated makes, like, I feel really confident that CDEC Youth, like, have a clear plan for dealing with the Brood, and this isn't something that caught them by surprise, which, as far as the mind games between these two teams go, has to be a bit unsettling for IG.
Yeah, goes into the psychology of the draft where, you know, sometimes teams like to snap pick or really quickly and throw their opponents off, make them feel like they know exactly what they want and get them kind of second guessing themselves. Sometimes you'll see teams burn the clock down and then do something standard just to try and mix things up a little bit. But this time around, the TA are going to get banned by IG as we enter this final round of picks. Trying to limit that Roshan potential for the CDEC Youth.
Yeah.
5 seconds
I think partly because if you want to do the Darkseer safe lane against the Brood, then you're looking at maybe a Queen of Pain Rubik off lane. Queen of Pain actually quite a good lane dominator, so putting someone like getting like a last pick into the mid lane could fit CDEC Youth here, but no Storm, no TA. Both teams expecting a mid laner as the last picks, as IG do often lean towards that support laner. But we'll find out if that's exactly what they have in mind as the last pick is coming up.
Yeah, I guess they still don't fully know what CDEC Youth want to run mid. It could very well be that Quap safe lane as well, so makes it a little tricky for whatever IG want to throw mid,
And
not knowing what the matchup will be.
Even if it's Quap, then you don't know what their carry's going to be, which leaves things wide open for what CDEC Youth when you've got the entire pool of mids and carries available to you.
Well, that anti-mage is still out there. Not a huge int bomb necessarily to work with. What other big carries?
I think it's
PL is banned. IG will
AM.
take the anti
I
versus the Darkseer, it looks like.
Yes. I wonder if I think IG are going to try swap up their lane so that they don't get the Brood versus Darkseer. So there'll be a lot of mind games going into where Brood and AM are lane. They want to have the AM plus Dazzle against Darkseer. Maybe we even see something crazy like a Brood mid just to ensure that Brood doesn't get the lane against Darkseer. But whatever it is, IG are looking to dodge the lanes that CDEC Youth are trying to set up with Darkseer against the Brood rather than the AM.
So what are the Youth one here? They see the AM. They see a carry that is by far the hardest carry in the game right now with a Brood to make space for him. What's your play if you're CDEC?
TA would have been great because you've got TA against AM, which is nice. You want to carry or hero that can deal with an AM.
You get something like a Huskar here, just run at him early.
Huskar, that's I think it's a great Husker game, but it could definitely work. Yeah,
I'm bringing up my hero list.
The TA would have worked nicely. Like a Lina would have worked nicely, but you're never getting a last pick Lina. So they haven't got anything like a Dazzle to amplify physical damage. Maybe a Shadow. Oh, Shadow Fiend's banned actually, so no Shadow Fiend.
Bristleback out there, Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker's not bad here. It's pretty.
I'm kind of scratching those less common picks because there's really not a whole lot left, and they go Luna, so. Different idea, gods. They are more interested in this early push potential, it seems.
Yeah, it doesn't give them a... I mean, it is a pushing hero normally, but the lineup around it isn't that great at pushing, I feel. I think they want a hero that's strong in the lane as far as paired with a Rubik, because they may be doing like an offensive tri-lane here if they try and set the Darkseer versus Brood. And also a carry that can scale into the late game.
That's a pretty weak tri-lane, though. Rubik Luna, you're up against a Dazzle. You've got a Spirit Breaker can potentially show up.
Oh yeah, it's more that they're going to be forced into a trial. They want to do the tri-lane versus tri-lane, so Darkseer can lane against Brood, but they may just be forced to say, oh, okay, that's not going to work. Let's just do Luna safe lane and have sentries to deal with Brood. But Rubik Luna will probably struggle quite a bit against Brood here.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. You have the quote-unquote counter to a Brood in the lane, but will the rest of the lanes allow you to hold that 1v1? Do you even get the matchup? Anyway, we'll find out. For now, the youth... Well, the scoreboard bug actually works out this time, as they are leading 1-0.
We lucked out.
Oh, yeah. The RNG's on our side this time. Aim will be your Luna. In Flame will be the Queen of Pain heading towards mid. Icy, once again on the support role. This time the Bounty Hunter. Demon's going to be playing the Rubik. Pretty damn poor when it comes to the items that he has in his inventory. And June will be the Darkseer. As for Invictus Gaming, currently trailing 0-1 in the best of 3, we've got Rabbit, this time playing the Anti-Mage. First time we've seen him on more of a hard carry, gods. It's been 2 Sven games prior to this, and I'm forgetting what the third one was. Yep. Chuan on the Spirit Breaker, Super, your Dazzle. 430 will be taking the Lina mid, so IG looking to show that flexibility with how they run the Lina. And then Luo, as usual, on the off lane, this time on the Broodmother.
Yeah, and CDEC want the early jungle invade to 1, block off the Radiant pool camp, but 2, try and scout out what IG's lanes are so they can decide where to send Darkseer in. Looks like they see the AM bottom. They feel confident that Brood is going top, so they will go for the Darkseer at top. But yeah, this will have to be Bounty spending a lot of time bottom lane because of the fact that Rubik Luna is a pretty weak off lane, at least if they're against like in a 2v3 setting. So it feels like Bounty needs to be offering a lot of assistance down bottom. And they're also light on regen. They bought 4 sentries at level 1, so both Bounty as well as Rubik are very limited on regen, limited on items. They don't have any branches or anything to just give them some stats. So
normally it's the team that's against the Bounty Hunter who has to blow extra money on sentries.
They wanted sentries top for June against the Brood, and then they also want the sentries to, I guess, block the pool camp and have the extra detection down bottom as well.
Well, they certainly have blocked that camp, so it will indeed be... You called it an offensive tri-lane. We'll see if they actually settle into a full 3-man lane, but at least 2-3 heroes down on this side of the map.
Yeah. So Bounty lingering nearby for now. I think waiting to see what Chuan does. And that's where... It's not like IG have a great tri-lane themselves. Chuan, as a Spirit Breaker, well, actually may find an early kill. They've got Dust, but not going to go
Dust
for it.
and the Sentry here. Got to be very cautious if you're Icy.
That's an Orb of Venom on Chuan as well. So if he gets that movement speed slow onto Icy...
Ooh.
It's going to be...
If he gets the double slow, especially, like if he tries to Windwalker run away.
They need to get the double D ward here, though, for the pool camp. They were really hoping for a pool camp available down bottom, but so far
poking at Rabbit, he started with the Poor Man Shield, so expected... Seems like he may have expected this early aggression from CDEC. Trying to get as defensive as possible.
He's pretty light on regen himself. Has a Dazzle Shadow Wave heal, but I'd say normally it's more common to see like what Ritsu's been doing lately for C9 on the AM is you get double regen, either 2 sets of Tangos or a Tango and a Salve, and you just finish your Poor Man's Shield at the side shop because you can buy all the components. So we'll quickly run out of regen against a lane that's looking to harass him a lot.
430. And Flame's going to jump in for this one. They will get off that initial slow. 430 almost blind stunned him walking up the ramp, but it won't happen. So the Bounty Hunter strikes first. No sentries for the mid lane.
They both dodged the stun. That was 430.
And I think 430 knew the Bounty Hunter was there, and he was trying to stun him while invis. So.
No, Bounty had already attacked, so he actually knew that 100% Bounty was there. Like he'd already attacked out of the invis.
Did he?
He'd re-invis for the extra damage.
I must not have gotten a sound effect there. Lina will stun and flame up the hill, but yeah, now he's got the sentries. Unfortunately, the damage already done.
And this is where Bounty Hunter teams themselves end up buying a lot of sentries because controlling the mid lane is so important. So Bounty's going to look to go back mid and drop a sentry soon, maybe.
We'll jump in onto Demons here, taking a lot of harassment. Dazzle went for the Poison Touch, and not enough to get the kill. In fact, Rabbit's going to end up going down. Level 1 Poison Touch really not accomplishing a whole lot. In fact, Demons chases, gets off the extra auto attack. Lucent Beam will turn it 3-0 the score.
Damn,
this is not the spell that you normally see on a Dazzle.
Timely TP from Icy to get down. He was mid and then healed up and then instantly back to the bottom lane to help out. And just knowing that, that's where IG are really looking to play around the Bounty rotations. They've got the stronger tri-lane at bottom if Bounty's not here, but the Bounty showing up just turns things around, and CDEC are in such a good position here in the early game. The Spirit Breaker has not been able to deal with the Bounty. The Bounty set up a kill in the mid lane as well as 2 kills in the off lane now. And Darkseer in this matchup versus Brood is doing just fine. Has a Sentry Ward still available, is out farming the Brood for now, and this is likely to continue.
Yeah, now Super does have a point in the heal. He's hit level 3, so the winner, I guess, getting a lot of experience out of that little skirmish. We'll see Luo just sitting back on the top lane, poking and prodding at the neutrals. It's 430, fishes for a potential stun mid, doesn't get the opening for it. Slave comes through, connecting on the creeps, and Mid lane, dead even so far. They are going to look to pressure Rabbit a bit here. Just smacking him once with the bounty. No points in Janata, though. He's
Mid lane, they
are
are battling it out. Ooh, almost a kill.
Oh, close call. Yeah, has not taken the point in Janata yet. Just a single point in Shuriken toss early on.
This is becoming a more common build just because the burst damage potential with the Shuriken at level 1, it's huge damage. So it goes for the Janata at level 3.
Also does cancel the charges. Well, Chuan went on the mid lane. Looks like a 1-for-1 ends up being the result there. Super getting poked by Icy, though.
He's in trouble. That's a boots on bounty. He's going to have to go for a suicide play or hope Chuan can save him.
Here.
There's dust coming.
Could skill up the grave, and in fact, he is being charged out. Chuan pops that dust, almost knocked him up onto the high ground.
Oh, Rabbit!
And in fact, Rabbit will just blink straight there. That is not where he wants to be.
Oh.
Rabbit maybe hasn't been playing too much anti-mage lately.
Even if he hits the blink, they don't get the kill without a bash from Chuan, which he wasn't getting. So maybe with some like sick AM body blocks into Spirit Breaker bashes, but it was unlikely to be a kill.
Tough times. Rabbit not really farming very well now as they essentially abandon him. Just 1v2 in the lane. Camp's still blocked up. Observer Ward nearly expired at this point.
Yeah, and this is where CDEC's early level 1 roam into the enemy jungle has just paid off so much. They've got the laning stage advantage. If Dazzle AM had been in the off lane and Brood had been in the safe lane, and let's say CDEC just ran with these lanes and for whatever reason didn't swap up their lanes, IG would have won the laning stage. And even if CDEC decide to swap their lanes, as soon as they're forced to swap lanes, they're wasting time, they're missing out on farm, missing out on XP, and it just gives IG a big edge as far as the laning stage goes as well. So I feel like IG were maybe a bit too stubborn to mix up where they sent the Brood, with just forcing Lure to the off lane. And making it very obvious, because they did get scouted in their Radiant jungle from the start.
They certainly did. And we'll see Lina now hitting level 6. Neutrals have been stacked elsewhere. Chuan, at least busy on that front. It's actually the Darkseer who's pushing the Brood. This is one of the few heroes that can keep it. Aggression going the other way. They may try to make a move mid momentarily. Icy in position. There's a Sentry Ward, though, up on the Radiant high ground, preventing any easy jump in.
This is a cool Dire Ward. I haven't actually seen this ward used before.
I've seen it a few times yesterday, actually.
Okay.
Seems like
maybe the Chinese team has just been doing it a lot.
Yeah, I've seen the ward here. You see the ward that sometimes gets planted down the hill.
Yes.
Then
but I get
obviously
that one,
the more standard ward, the one to block the camp as well.
Yeah. If you plan it like down the hill from the high ground, which was common, the team's likely to have sentries there because you're versing a bounty. So the high ground one is unlikely to get dewarded. That's actually, yeah, it's really cool. Nice little spot.
And I think they changed the architecture of this hill because I know this cliff you can see over, and you did not used to be able to in Source 1.
Ah. Yeah, it does look different.
Or maybe they fixed it in one of the patches, to be honest. It's something like, I feel like 20 things are getting changed every day with these constant reborn tweaks, so it's hard to keep up.
Yep. So we'll see how this bottom lane continues to go. Rabbit still just 10 CS to his name, is really struggling. It's aim on the Luna, hitting 40 CS momentarily, who's just been dominating down here. And I don't feel like IG have a good response to this. Lina's hit level 8 now. 430 is maybe the one hero who can look to roam and gank there, but it has to lead to a high priority kill if you're going to rotate Lina in bottom lane.
They have sent Super back, but the pressure is mounting here with the Bassi active, the plus armor allowing this early tower push to come through. This is trouble for the anti-mage Dazzle, who are still not getting their pulls going. Another ward gets dropped down. This one won't block the camp, but scout out any movement towards that jungle.
And CDEC see the Ferrari return to mid lane, so they're going to feel very safe down bottom to keep applying pressure. So it feels like across the board they're doing well here. Darkseer's got money for potentially a Vanguard. Has picked up Ring of Health, which is not your standard Darkseer item, but against a Brood who has a lot of harass potential is something you maybe see a bit more of. I don't know if he'll go full Vanguard here. Maybe just be more towards a pipe, or he may just go back for the mech and just hold on to the Ring of Health for now.
There's a charge onto Inflame, but that one's scouted. But a very clever ward that you pointed out earlier. And in any case, with the blink back, far too much of a dive to commit to. See a Lucent Beam on Rabbit, bottom lane. CDEC still keeping the pressure up here, and it's just essentially a 2v3 at this point with Bounty. Always in the neighborhood. There's your Laguna Blade top lane. Charge gets the job done, so they will kill off the Darkseer.
Yep.
With that Broodmother, vaults herself into pole position as far as farm by a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good game from 430 and a pretty reliable kill. You know, it's past 7 minutes, so your starting Observer Wards have expired, and the only hero that's been top is a Brood. So it's very minuscule % chance that Brood has brought out Observer Wards for herself to scout out Lina rotations toward top. You're expecting most of the wards to be around the mid lane or the bottom lane currently.
Look at this. Inflame with a personal smoke and a double damager. And pretty sure that was a one-man smoke there. And doesn't end up finding the opening. Double damager and is bottled up.
They'll get this T1 tower without a doubt, though, and that opens up the Radiant jungle completely for them to take over. And they're looking to defend mid at the same time. AIM has a TP on Luna, so potential Eclipse turnaround here, but IG are already worried and backing off.
And I'm not sure where Rabbit wants to go at this point. Bottom doesn't feel very safe. They were just quad laning it.
Yeah. If he can get up to treads and like a ring of health, he can always jungle. Not that the jungle's the safest against a bounty, because they can always scout you out with the bounty and then have a Queen of Pain follow-up, so...
Speaking of which, Rabbit, he is scouted right now. Got body block for just a split second there. And we'll march back towards bottom. He's just... He's not sure where he wants to go. He'll miss quite a few creeps here. The tower will fall into deny range, and now Bounty Hunter arrives. The charge comes the way of Luna. Lucent Beam's there, looking for the last hit, and it will go to the Dire creep in the end as Rabbit looks to back off here. Actually, with the charge in, may re-engage. There's an Eclipse available, though. Let's see how good the RNG is on these beams. Not too great. Not likely that they would be at that point. Doesn't even get the salve off. Chuan will bash him down, securing the kill, and now jumps onto Icy. Maybe able to finish him off as well. Icy backing off here. Does go invis, and will end up escaping successfully. If one more of those Lucent Beams hit a hero, maybe would have been a different fight.
Icy's back in on Chuan.
Same moment. It looks like the Dazzle was getting pressure mid lane. Did pop the defensive grave, but survives. Will lose the Spirit Breaker, though. And most importantly, tower down in the safe lane.
Some space for Rabbit now at bottom. He knows Luna's not coming back anytime soon, and Luna can't really just come down alone because of that Spirit Breaker charge threat, as we just saw. So,
whew, bam!
Too easy for 430.
Yeah, he waited a while for that one, but
yeah,
patience will be rewarded. Still, only a support Rubik in the end, as Bounty Hunter will happily glab his Arcane Boots.
Yep.
It seems like CDEC just in the driver's seat as far as the aggression goes here.
I like what Lua is doing, though. He's itemized, picked up a Yasha, probably seen SMY. He's going to go for items which allow him to join up with his team and take fight. So it's more of a fighting Brood build. I think he realizes if he just stays in the offlane and force his team to fight kind of 4v5 battles, it's going to be really bad because AM's had such a rough time. So Lua's going to need to maybe take part more and get involved, and that's where an SMY, BKB type build is probably going to be on the cards for him.
After they took the tower, they still keep the lane occupied. Inflames the Queen of Pain up in front now, but we'll have to deal with that Yule Scepter. An early pickup for 430. 12 minutes or so. Good timing on that one. Flame does have a single Observer Ward, giving him a bit of protection here.
Yep. And this is where the lane gets... Well, this is where the game gets scary in general for Queen of Pain, who will pick up, I think, a point booster here. Has the Career of the Secret Shop, and that's going to just... At this point, Queen of Pain, there's a few ways you can deal with the Yules, is to just tank up, or you can go for like a Yules or an Orchid and try and just silence Lina when you get Yulesed up, but... or Yules the Lina as soon as you get Yulesed up, so we'll see the tanky route, which is just going to be a straight Ag Scepter.
So it will be a Vanguard for June. This is not a common item on Darkseer nowadays.
No, not at all.
430 will look to reveal his Yule Scepter, finds the stun, follows their Laguna Blade as well, even through the point booster HP. Enough to get the kill.
Yeah, you can tank up, but you need a lot of survivability to survive, especially now we're looking at a level 2 Laguna, so...
Big kill there for 430, and... Well, meanwhile, top lane, Luo forcing the Luna to TP out. He is flexing his, I would say muscles, but more just his various legs and appendages. Forces that Luna back to base. Seems like Luo's going to be the big space creator here. Him and 430 now. I mean, there's really nobody who outmatches these guys 1v1 at this stage, gods.
Yeah. And this is the stage where it's kind of tricky for Luna. It's not an easy lane to go farm. In the off lane, you're very vulnerable to ganks unless you have supports in your team backing you up. In the safe lane, it's a Brood who you can't really fight or deal with. And like 13 to 20 minutes in the game, you want your carry to be able to just kind of farm a lane or the jungle alone and be kind of self-sustainable while the rest of your team go for fights with like 3 or 4 heroes. Like Queen of Pain, Bounty, Darkseer, they want to go fight with Track and Sonic Wave, but they're forced to babysit this Luna right now.
They looked for a smoke gank bottom. They even surged demons in, but he hesitated, stutter stepped, and Anti-Mage just calmly blinked away. So a missed opportunity for the CDEC youth.
Yeah, and the lane ward I think revealed because of that. AM reacting to heroes who were standing far back, so feels like CDEC do know it's warded there now, but they're not going to get much out of this apart from maybe an easy D ward.
No sentries right now. Kind of hard to D-ward without those.
Brood just causing Brood problems up top now. There's a track though.
There's a track available. They'll release it on Luo, but very mobile in the webs. And just continues to march back. Still here with the Dazzle. Got to watch out for the heal bomb as they charge on mid lane, looking for Inflame. Yule Scepter from 430. Awkward timing on that, but it's okay. He says, I'll get this one myself. Thank you very much. I don't need your help. Chuan, your services are not required for this kill. By the way, Rubik stole Insatiable Hunger earlier. So that's pretty cute.
I saw that when it was bottom. I'm just like, what's he going to do with this? Right-click some people down. I think he's just going to still blink here.
Plus 90 damage is pretty legit.
He wants
a lot of mana, though.
Yeah.
100 mana.
He stills blink, so he'll get out of it.
Should have used it first charged. And then stolen blink.
Yeah.
So you can just poke at him a little bit.
Yeah, if AM blinked on you there, you poke him and you lifesteal.
I think Rubik wins the man fight with that.
Mana break probably would mess you up a little bit, though.
Yeah. It would be close, though. It's plus 90 damage at level 2.
I mean, you got Poor Man's Shield.
And 80% lifesteal, so...
I think it would have been a bit rough for Rubik still. Like, you get down to 0 mana.
160 damage, you're stealing, like... How much armor does he have? 6?
6 with a Poor Man's Shield, so you're blocking a decent chunk. I think AM wins that pretty handily, because as soon as you're 0 mana, there's a Mana Void coming at your face, too, which is an extra 350 damage or something to a Rubik.
He's got... Well, you can steal the blink after you pop the Insatiable Hunger. Okay. So you can always run away.
Yeah. You can run... oh, absolutely. I totally agree. He should have popped it for style points and then stolen blink and ran away, not fought the AM, though. Fighting the AM, I think, would have been ugly for him.
On does get tracked here. Surrounded and ambushed. Queen of Pain secures that one. CDEC now rushing in with the June Vanguard. Getting up in the front lines here. They'll take down the tower mid. Looks like the youth may want to push, but Luo's going to make life difficult for them. Keeps the pressure going top. It will be a... Not the Sanjinyashi you mentioned, but straight into a Mantis style. Gets the ultimate orb.
Yep. Nice against track. Just being able to dispel it constantly. So if CDEC are looking to gank him with Bounty just waiting to get a track to lead the gank, then he can instantly pop Manta and then maybe look for an escape. So just makes it a little bit harder for CDEC to deal with him.
430 just being reminded that they are here and they do see him. Making his life too easy, and this is buying time for the Anti-Mage. Rabbit had a pretty rough start, Gods. The blink onto the hill earlier, just constantly being pressured in lane, but he is getting some catch-up time now. 65 CS, still a very slow Anti-Mage game by modern standards, but the team is giving him space.
Yeah, and it's even somewhat inflated because he is spending a lot of time in the jungle. But that's the nice thing about the AM is once you have your Treads Ring of Health, you can just jungle your way to Battle Fury if it's a really tough game, which is kind of what we're looking at now.
Uh-oh, I see. That dust just found him. Chuan not even going to bother to complete the charge. Just goes into another strike. 430 will wildly miss that stun as the Laguna Blade is used to secure the kill anyway. Miss stun, press R. All in a day's work for Alina.
I'm more wondering why Chuan didn't hit the charge stun than Lina missing the LSA. But
maybe figured he just shuriken and interrupted. I don't know if he could have actually pulled it off at that point, but either way, Bounty Hunter down.
Yeah, they're finding a lot of kills with this Lina. 430's been very effective here in the mid game. They de-ward CDEC's deep ward that was in the jungle on the Radiant side and go for another smoke. So without Laguna Blade, still possible for them to get kills. They've got no Nether Strike as well, though, so it's going to be risky. They're looking probably just for... I mean, they're going to find a Rubik, which they won't even get because of the Blink steal, so...
looks like they did smoke for that, unfortunately, so... Still going to continue pressing towards the top lane, where June has opted for a Blink Dagger.
It looks like they wanted to go top for June with that smoke gank, which would have been a nice kill to get because they can follow it up with the tier 2 tower, so...
He goes. So he's just not getting mech, it seems. Into a Blink Dagger now.
I think Bounty's going to get the mech for the team. Has, Arcane Boots and Buckler.
Yes, he does. Good call out there. They'll back Luo. Has the Manta, though. Pops it. Track comes through over the top. And then just to ensure the kill, Inflame unloads the Queen of Pain ultimate. So they will find a 5-hero track kill, I believe. Okay. Only a level 1 track, fortunately, for IG.
Yeah, that's still a good chunk of gold and sets them up to maybe go for Roshan. They went for a really early Rosh last game. They did have a medallion that time around. This time doesn't.
They have Luna.
Yeah, they have Luna. They don't need the medallion by any means. It's just going to be a bit slow, and it looks like IG are already pinging it out, but with Brood dead and...
Oh, I see. I feel like we just saw this exact engagement. Chuan, not even bother with the charge again. Then he'll follow up another strike with the point-blank charge in your face, and does end up getting yet another bounty kill.
It's the Rosh Vanguard. He can tank Rosh because of the Vanguard. That's surely why he picked it up. The only reason why.
It's not possible to tank the Rosh without it.
This is worth a drums charge. I should be popping drums for this maybe. I'd be worried about IG coming to contest this.
I'm clicking the drums, but nothing's happening, guys.
You know, imagine if there was like a reborn bug where spectators could pseudo control heroes,
just hijack them.
That would be game breaking because no.
Now that you say that, I'm sure there probably isn't a reborn bug that allows you to do that.
Some of the spectators couldn't resist. You don't know which caster it would be.
Especially if you've got like Falat casting a Russian team or something.
If he's bored, if he's casting a Chinese game and there's been no kills for 25 minutes, Falat's getting in there and like clicking
throws
spells.
The Laguna Blade out.
Yeah.
I could dig it. Make things interesting for about 10 seconds until the players got really upset.
As long as they're not aware of it. You're very subtle about it so they don't quite realize. They just think it's there.
I mean, if you like randomly Laguna Blade a creep, I'm pretty sure they're going to know right away.
Yeah. If you pop a drum charge, though, they may just think, did I click my item hockey? I don't know.
Yeah. Or if it's black, he'll know that it was you because he never uses them. So it's all situational. Yeah, we haven't seen AIM get anything out of this drum, really. Just been farming.
Yeah, farming drums. He got a first item. It's one of those things you may as well use the charges earlier rather than later, I always feel, because the item does eventually get replaced, and we'll see though. He hasn't been able to get to that many fights so far.
The charge comes amid. Chuan backing down from the brink of the eclipse.
The escape drums. He popped it there.
Okay, there you go. That's some value coming out.
Yeah. It's pretty good in fights, but it's actually great for the movement speed to escape. Escaping and chasing, more so than actually fighting.
But we are seeing IG allowing the anti-mage to farm, the Brood to split push. And it does feel like CDEC are just kind of ping-ponging between the lanes, almost reacting more than they are setting any kind of tempo of their own.
Yeah. No one's ahead of the anti-mage anymore. This anti-mage got crushed in lane, but he is on par with both Darkseer and Queen of Pain on farm. Behind his teammates, but it's kind of all relative to the enemy team more so than his own team when you look at the AM's farm. And yeah, he's doing just fine considering he's only, we're 21 minutes in. Normally you'd see AM with a Vlad's by now, and often you see a free farming AM with like a 22, 23 minute Manta, but he's not being out-farmed by any opposing team carry, so he's actually out-farming Luna as well, and that's where I think IG are in a very good position this game.
And you know it's only going to get worse if it's a farming game. Luna does have the Dominator, maybe looks to stack the Ancients again, but keeping up with the anti-mage is just not possible.
A farming game with AM and Brood on your team, you're looking really good, especially...
And even it looks like maybe a Bloodstone for 430 as they will Nether Strike in Flame, following up with the Slave, and not even needing the Laguna here for the first life. They could potentially go for a second one. Yule Scepter is available. Chuan will get vacuumed. He doesn't have a charge ready for a few seconds. Time should be enough to get the kill, and they'll commit that Queen of Pain ult when he's about 100 HP away from dying. But Lua says, great, I can just split push.
Yeah, that's worth it for IG. They lose a support for an Aegis and they get a tier 2 tower. They lose Lure though, that's where things maybe not so worth it.
Have the Manta style. Let's see if the timing's good on this one.
Seems just fine here. So yeah, overall, big victory for IG. CDEC kind of grouped up a lot during that. They had AM farming on the IG side, so all in all, a very worthwhile exchange for them.
Nobody's really gone super greedy on their lineup. You saw the early Vanguard and Yule Scepter mid, 430 with the stun. Laguna Blade's ready, charges coming, and doesn't quite have the firepower to finish off in Flame. Meanwhile, top, eyes on Luo where Icy is stalking him. Do have a gem up on the Darkseer now.
Queen of Pain just tanky enough to survive that combo. And that's where Lena's probably looking at.
That is the one nice thing with this build. You can get that little extra bit of HP.
Yeah. Lena no longer with solo kill potential. So that, that's kind of the upside you have the Ags build. You do need to be on strength treads, I'd say, to survive it, but you can see there it is possible. Until Lena's level 16, and then it's no longer the case.
The little rabbit is pushing in flame, holding the line here bottom. But they've got the top 3 farmers, gods. I mean, it's only about 1,000 gold advantage per core, so it's not overwhelming by any means, but it just feels like IG are getting to play their tempo, and CDEC not really having theirs, and it seems they want to change this thing up. They're going to go invis, and actually they popped a smoke for this one, but it looks like they missed on the Luna as well as the Rubik. Maybe June only... Did they attack, or did they just only smoke one? Or I guess they got the bounty hunter as well.
Yeah. I didn't see exactly, but that kind of foils their smoke because they ran into an observer, which they scout with their gem, and Rubik's like, well, I'm not smoked. I may as well just kill this ward now.
And they're really diving for this. Not sure if they realize quite how many heroes are behind the lines. This time the dust won't connect. 430 getting scouted out. Has the Bloodstone deny. Has the Yule Scepter. He gets the quick pick on Icy. Can he Bloodstone deny? Can he Yules? No, he's lifted, dropped back down into the vac, and will end up falling. But all the while, Brood pushing top, Anti-Mage pushing mid. It is a 2-for-1 though, and they get the Lina kill. And
a track kill too. I thought 430 was close to making a really nice play there. Killing the bounty, and then if he Yulesed himself, he could have dispelled the track. Or just looked for a Bloodstone Suicide.
True. And even if he dies then, they're not getting the track
Yeah,
hold.
But I mean, ideal scenario is you just Bloodstone Suicide and deny the kill altogether, but... Close. The Rubik lift was what prevented the suicide, it looked like. And
as well as the vac. They had like the two kind of overlapping a bit.
So, bit unfortunate, and like you said, AM was farming, Brood was farming, so for IG, even though they give up 2, including 1 track, they may get another kill on 430 bottom, though. That's big.
Oh, maybe not. Mana Void's there. One more auto attack, blinking and screaming in flame. Commits for this, but he will end up going down.
Rabbits.
A 2-for-1 there.
Rabbit
430
though. The game.
This Bloodstone not really accomplishing what he was hoping for. Now down to 4 charges.
Yeah.
But Rabbit is the man who's happy. Manta nearly complete.
I think it's where CDEC really look to use their smokes and just up their aggression around the Bloodstone finishing, because they know how much it can cripple a Bloodstone hero to get rid of those charges very early on. Often there's just no coming back and ever getting anywhere near like 10 to 15 charges if you get down right away to 3 or 4 charges, and that's kind of what happened to this Lina. But it's not all about the Lina this game anymore. There's an AM and a Brood who are out farming the Lina and becoming just as problematic. So for IG, it's still manageable, even if 430 goes down a few times and loses his charges.
Feels like Luo's been... You know, there was that window where 430 was finding a couple kills. A lot of them CDEC really diving. But the past 5-10 minutes has been just Luo constantly being chased by a Darkseer who even committed to buying a gem to try and hunt him. The bounty hunter usually towards the top side of the map. We did see him bottom for a little bit. Luo just making all kinds of space for the rest of his cores to get their farm.
And Brood used to be a hero that everyone would always talk about, oh, it falls off in the late game, but that was back when Broods would go for that Necrobook build, or the Orchid build, or the Dagon build, and absolutely, Brood fell off, and it often was top net worth for a long time because of this like Midas Dagon build, but then fell off later on. Nowadays, we're seeing Broods go for these more fighting builds, and this style of Brood doesn't really fall off going into the late game. So this is where Brood is going to remain a problem for the remainder of this game, it feels like. Yeah. Even though he's 0-1-1
obviously your Brood is not... Oh, Chuan getting caught out here a bit. Does have a charge available, but the lift comes through. He was waiting for that last disable, and unfortunately, it was one disable too many to make it home. But Luo is scouting mid, throwing little spiderites out and up near the towers, just securing their vision. The Anti-Mage gets aggressive on the back of this, and then Blink Dagger comes out for the Lina. We'll see AIM not opting to complete that BKB. Goes back towards the Butterfly. CDEC starting to really feel the pressure.
Yeah, I think realizing you expect the Lina Ags to come out, but as long as 430 doesn't see a Luna BKB, 430 doesn't need to go for the Ag Scepter, at least not for killing Luna.
TP and the Brood. You mentioned the combat Brood gods. We're going to see it here. Luo deploying the web and now engaging. There's the Lacuna. Instant takedown on AIM. The hard carry for CDEC Youth just getting shut down, and now they charge in flame. Coming through. Chuan's going in hot. They have the Mana Void available as well, along with the Manta style. This should be a takedown. Not even opting to pop the Manta. Doesn't need the ultimate of the Mana Void either. They get the job done regardless. And now they'll look for the push bottom lane, possibly into a tier 2. 2 big, beefy cores down the drain, and CDEC. Little to show for it.
Yeah, it just feels like CDEC aren't getting enough really accomplished at any stage. They're not stopping any of the IG cores from farming. You've got 3 very farmed and very high impact heroes here at the 30-minute mark with AM, Lina, and Brood all out farming the CDEC counterparts, and this is just a big issue. They haven't been able to get anything out of the Darkseer, really. We haven't seen a good Blink vacuum combos. They haven't really got a follow-up damage outside of the Sonic Wave for a combo anyways. It's not like there's that big teamfight wombo combo. And that's where IG have just taken over this game, mostly through split push. That, to me, and that's almost the other bigger issue, is that CDEC Slime doesn't have pick-off or catch potential, really. They can track someone, but they don't have that Spirit Breaker charge or a Queen of Pain Hex, which looks to be coming next, but they really need that like Blink Initiator to get them some kills, which doesn't really
Demons
exist.
has the double Blink now, but he's a squishy support Rubik at the same time.
And you like double Blink in and lift, and then your team doesn't have double
they
Blink to follow it up.
slowly run forward and try to get in position. Yeah, it's not ideal.
Kill potential comes from the Queen of Pain, so it's like the Queen of Pain who has to be there always and has to commit a Sonic Wave, which I guess is okay because you've got Ag Scepter, but Queen of Pain's had a rough time because of the being shut down by Lina mid.
At the 29-minute mark, CDEC Youth, they do lead this series 1-0, so a loss here does not knock them down to the lower bracket, but would result in a decisive game number 3. Definitely a slower paced game compared to the earlier match, and feels still with the track gold like CDEC are fairly... Oh, Inflame just... Oh, yeah, he is the egg, so just clearing out the wave, but I think a little nervous about IG's push potential now. They're starting to gear up in the mid lane.
Oh, yeah. At this point, it's... CDEC need that one amazing fight where they get multiple track kills and a lot done, but I don't see it likely to happen outside of a great Darkseer counter initiation. And that's something that IG is surely wary of and more likely to... They're going to group up now for a Roshan, but I feel like the overall strategy for IG shouldn't be to group up and fight. It should be to split push the map because that's where they
There's
shine.
the blink in from June, gets the Shivas off on 2 heroes, but doesn't want to commit the back or the wall.
He's going to be careful about blinking in because I think he's almost the prime target for IGs to go on with the
Luo, he's taking the bouncing glaive, so he can't run up the cliff. He's going to need to BKB and just fight this one, but he gets lifted and dropped back down into a quad bolt. Luo not respecting the bouncing glaives or the gem and gets punished for it.
Insta-glaved and lost his TP. And now they may lose Roche.
Now they bring down the Luna. It looks like Manta style was popped by the anti-mage. Tanks a couple of the Lucid moves. Still has the Monoboid available, waiting for the opening here, and will destroy that Queen of Pain, disintegrates her, and maybe turns for more as Demons hunt, pursuing 430, who's still got the Bloodstone tonight if need be. Rabbit's going to look to duke this out. They did buy back on 1, looking to bring the Broodmother back into the fray.
Luna wants Roche. Luna's the only one who can really fight AM right now, so I feel like they do need Luna to commit to something.
Trying to do it. 1v3, but Luo doesn't really have the firepower for this, and he's going to end up going down. That's a dieback on Luo. Extremely costly death there. Yeah, they will track Rabbit.
And they're making such value out of this track. It's giving them vision so they can kind of tell what and where is safe to go, whether they can actually Roche. And Luna's going to decide against this, but needs to be careful because Radiant Vision does spot the Ancients out. They haven't dewarded above the Roshan pit, which does make this tricky for CDEC Youth to kind of move towards Roshan once again.
Well, Gods, it really feels like they want to commit on the Roshan, but you know, you mentioned maybe they should just be split pushing. It certainly seems like these fights around the pit are tricky for them.
It's definitely where they're strongest, and once AM gets an Abyssal Blade, you've got great solo kill potential coming out of the Anti-Mage. You can just blink Abyssal and kill anyone in the game, probably. And
it seems like they're kind of reconsidering the game plan, especially with the dieback there on the Brood.
I mean, they just set CDEC up to win that fight, get track gold. It was a big misplay from Luo. That was really at the core of the issue there, but it was always going to be a dangerous play. Trying to Roshan with 5 heroes, if CDEC smoked in and just blinked into the Roshan pit with a vacuum wall, that would have been a disaster for IG. I think CDEC were maybe out of smokes at the time. Oh, they've got 1 now, but maybe they didn't have a smoke at the time and they didn't know for sure that Roshan was happening.
Well, let's see who gets the jump here. No completed butterfly on aim, and he's down in the middle of the river. 430 breaks forward, then gets the stun off onto June, trying to burst the Darkseer down. They need that wall. They won't get it off. He'll buy back instantly, looking to re-engage as the Monovoid was committed for that initial kill. Now Rabbit jumping in, gets the double. Darkseer likely to re-engage here. He has TP towards the mid lane, but by the time he shows up, it's 3 heroes down. A triple kill for the little Rabbit, who's suddenly a big bad one. Yeah, looking to take this Aegis
he's
as well.
going for this too. That's surely
looking to engage. Blink, back wall. He catches the whole squad. And then Roshan looks to engage, but still they tank through this. Still they work on the Rockman, even popping the Shiva's Demon jumping in. He snatches the Aegis, immediately dies once. Probably going to die a second time here. June leading them on a merry chase. Tries to sprint away with the Surge coming out. The Anti-Mage will blink forward. Gets the bash. Gets the kill. Meanwhile, Icy and Demons also in danger. Now back. They want more. They've gotten 4. That's 5 kills for Rabbit over the past 2 minutes. And basically a rampage, though the game won't credit him as such. And now the Abyssal Blade. It's done.
That's
death to all magic.
Yeah,
That's the cry.
I think that the 2 issues there is that Darkseer is in vision. He needs to be hiding. You can't be saying, oh, Darkseer can't be like, oh, I'll get in the pit with you because I have a buyback. By the time you buy back and get there again, he's already lost Queen of Pain and Luna, and there's no... Like, he hits the best vacuum wall you can imagine, but without a Sonic Wave, without Luna to go in and just right-click people, you're never going to win that fight, so... I think Darkseer needs to be positioned more cautiously, and the other big thing is CDEC just didn't have like the vision. They hadn't dewarded that Observer Ward on the high ground yet.
Oh, Rabbit a little bit premature. They're also not popping the Manta style to help secure that kill. Second time where he's held on to it. Could have made the difference, perhaps, but still alive for now. Chuan's going to charge in. The squad continues to converge on the mid lane. IG looking for their first lane of racks, and to force that game number 3, they'll take down the melee. They now jump onto Inflame. Good combo play from 430, setting that up, and then again, the anti-mage jumps in. This time will get the bash, securing the kill, and with that, Queen of Pain dead has the buyback if she wants to commit it, but they just continue to blow up the Luna. Way too squishy. CDEC not even going to bother trying to fight any longer. They will call the GG. They'll tap out. We are headed to a deciding game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, CDEC Youth thought they had the answer for the Brood with the Darkseer, but then they just didn't really have... To me, the Luna pick was like, we don't really have any good options to last pick, and they felt Luna was just one of the better answers to the anti-mage. It didn't work out great. I think it had potential to work out, but they just didn't have damage coming from other sources. The Luna also didn't know which direction to go with the itemization. I think a BKB was absolutely needed. Lena never even bought an Ag Scepter this game because she never had to. Yeah, you go BKB, Lena will get nags, but you can dodge the LSA, you can fight the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage with a Manta style on you is burning your mana, doing a ton of damage. So I feel like you really need a BKB against all of these heroes.
And she never even got the butterfly is the worst part.
Yeah.
She never...
Lena's endgame items is no complete...
Had an Ogre Club on the stash and then almost the butterfly, but not quite.
And like part of a Satanic with the Helm. Like, yeah, okay, Helm's good on its own, but you still had no tier 4 late game items.
It just felt like the way they drafted, they wanted to keep the pressure out on the map, and then they kind of stepped back into this farming mode, but Darkseer had gone Vanguard, Luna had gone for the early drums Aquila. They had planned to fight, and then they tried to play the farm game, but at that point the AM just had too much space. Yeah.
It was I think, good effort from CDEC, and I like the approach to versing a Brood, because they knew it was coming, they thought they had an answer, but I imagine Game 3 will just see it banned out rather than try and deal with it.
It seems like the trump card that IG maybe are over-reliant on at times.
Oh, yeah.
But
Luo's potentially best hero, but they can't always get it.
All right, well, let's see if the CDEC Youth have what it takes or if IG are going to save your rares, guys. Game 3 of this best of 3 coming up in a jiffy.